You have to realize that just because you would act a certain way doesn't mean this other person or anybody else would act that way. Hey everyone, I'm Laura.
I'm Kristen.
And this is Souls in Bloom, where Kristen and I have open, candid conversations in hopes of inspiring your personal growth and ours as well. And today we have a write-in. So it's on my phone, so I'm going to read it. Kristen has not heard this yet. La la la. Okay. And here we go. Hey ladies, I'm not sure if you can help, but maybe you have some advice or personal experience to share regarding my situation. I have a very good friend, I'll call her Sally, that I've known since grade school. We worked together at an office for almost 2 years. I got the job first, but they had an opening and I was able to influence the boss into hiring her. Unfortunately, though she initially showed a lot of potential in her position, she started slacking off and was negative about her job, and it was pretty obvious to the rest of us. I talked to her about it and she would be I talked to her about it and she would be better for a week or two, then slowly fall back into her bad habits. About 9 months ago, the boss finally had enough and let her go, citing poor work ethic and failure to improve since she's been there as reasons why. For whatever reason, Sally hasn't talked to me since getting fired. I've tried calling her and messaging her, but she won't respond. I have been friends with her for over 20 years and I don't want to just end it like this, but what can I do? Thanks for your time. Anonymous.
Okay.
So there you go. I have a tough love answer to that one. I'm curious to hear Kristen's response though.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind would be if you've known her for 20 years, go to her house, go to her apartment. I don't know if she did that, but it didn't mention. So I would try to go see her if, since she's not answering any other way. That would be my first step. I don't know. And then I don't know what would you suggest first?
Well, I mean, that's a thought. I guess my thought is if she's not responding to any other reaching out methods, I feel like if she goes to her house, she'll probably just not answer the door, I would imagine.
Quite possible.
Yeah. So then you're kind of back in the same situation.
Right.
But I don't know. My personal thought is screw her. Because listen, I don't want to I understand it's a fragile situation and you've been friends for a really long time, but what are you supposed to do if she's very clearly
shut off?
Yeah, she's closed that door and locked it and threw the key away and you are still pounding on it, and she's giving you the very obvious signals that she's not interested in continuing the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes situations like this, a lot of times the person is doing that to see if the other person will try to salvage the relationship, like a little test.
Yeah.
9 months down the road, this isn't a test. She's not interested in being friends anymore. I don't know why, but maybe she thinks that you had something to do with her getting fired, or maybe she's mad that you didn't stand up for her, or I don't know. But I don't know. That's not
so. Okay, I have 2 experiences that might help with this. It might not. So the one experience is that I had an experience like this, and the friend did not want to be my friend anymore, and we still are no longer friends. Mm-hmm. Okay. On the other spectrum, something like this happened with another friend, and we are still friends to this day. So, like you mentioned, it might be the friend. What would she say her name was? Sally, the friend?
Sally, yeah.
It might be Sally just saying, bye, and thinking that Anonymous, did something purposefully or something like that, or like you said, didn't have her back, because that was kind of the situation with one of my friends. I don't think I'm not friends with her anymore, so I'll just say her name. Her name's Brittany. So we haven't been friends in probably a good 6 years. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so we worked together at the doctor's office, and she got to the point where she was fed up with the job and didn't want to work there anymore. But she was telling me this, but never told me that she was looking for other jobs. She just kept saying she was done, blah, blah. She hates the manager, whatever, whatever. And then all of a sudden, she didn't show up to work one day. And I'm texting her, like, hey, where are you? Blah, blah. And she takes like an hour or two to respond. And she writes back, she says, I quit. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like she had she had mentioned that she hated the job for a while. Things with the manager weren't going well, whatever.
Yeah.
But I never ever thought she would leave. She was there longer than I was. She was there, I think, going on almost 10 years when I was there only like maybe 3 or 4. So I'm like, she would just leave like that. So anyway, I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Blah, blah. So she asked me to come to the bar that was, in between both of where we lived to meet, to talk about everything after work. So I was like, okay, sure. Long story short, something came up with Kyle and I couldn't go. So I texted her and I was like, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to make it. Can we reschedule for this weekend? Because it was during the week that it happened. Can we reschedule for this weekend and I'll meet up with you and we can talk about it then? She said, okay, sure. So the weekend came and I'm texting her and she's not answering me. I'm like, what? Calling her, not answering. So I'm texting her. I'm like, hey, I want to reschedule with you, to talk about what happened. No answer. That's it. I didn't hear from her ever again.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was it.
I'm like, she got mad at me because I couldn't meet with her to talk to her about what happened, but I was ready and willing to reschedule it. She said, okay. And then she disappeared. So now the one thing I didn't do was go to her house. That's why I'm recommending that, because maybe it could salvage the friendship, because I didn't go there.
Yeah.
Mainly, the main reason was because she lived in the downstairs apartment from her older brother, and he's a real DICK. So I didn't want to go there, because if if she told him whatever, then if I'm, if he's like, get out of here or something,
Yeah.
So I didn't even want to like go there. So anyway, she did end up texting me years later. Okay. Years later.
So you did hear from her again.
So I did hear from her again, but I ignored her texts because she texted me. It was like 2 or 3 years later, and she texted me at like 2 a.m, and I can tell she was drunk just by how she was texting. Like the letters were all messed up and stuff, saying that she misses me and she's sorry that she never answered and she wants to, meet up and talk everything over. And at that point I was like, I was moved on,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to get back into this whole thing with her, especially when she's clearly drunk, blah, blah. So that was it.
Yeah. So you never did find out like what her real beef was or why she quit or anything?
Nope.
That's so bizarre.
Nope. And, there was rumors in the office that she got a job at actually at a hospital, working in like because she did medical billing. So that she did the medical billing for a local hospital to where I used to live. But it's like, why would she treat me like that? Like, we were friends for years, you know what I mean? Like, so I get Anonymous's point on why Sally would just be like, done.
Yeah.
But some people are like that, some people are easy and quick to just turn their feelings off.
That's true too. So Troy and I, my husband, we say this a lot. We have this mantra, which I may have mentioned on the channel before, I'm not sure, but that they aren't you. That's like what we say to each other when we are discussing like the way other people are acting. And I'm like, I would never do that, but they aren't you. So like, you have to realize that just because you would act a certain way doesn't mean this other person or anybody else would act that way, because that's your own personal experiences forming your reaction to the situation. And everybody's experiences in life are so different that all these outcomes are going to be different. So it's unrealistic to expect anybody to respond to anything in the exact same way you would. Like when people say, well, I did it, so anyone can do it. Well, no, not
Right.
necessarily. Like, I mean, I understand the sentiment, but everyone has their background making them react in different ways. And so you're absolutely right. Like, I personally, if I had 20 years invested in a friendship, I could not drop it like a bad habit unless they like did me dirty real bad. But,
Right.
you know, but to like that, just cut them off and that's that. I do have a theory though, as you were talking. I
Mm-hmm.
realized that she mentioned in the letter that she had talked to Sally about her performance and stuff. Like, hey, like, I'm guessing, like, hey, you should not be a black cloud in the office or whatever she may have said. Or like, we can see you on the phone during office hours or whatever it is. So maybe Sally is thinking that Anonymous is like siding with the boss and siding with the enemy. So like
Yeah.
automatically that puts her on the shit list. And
Yeah.
so maybe that's why, you know,
Or even that she told on Sally or said something, to management.
me too.
Um,
Yeah.
but like you can only try so much too. Like I tried to reach out to Brittany with no response. So, there's only so much one person can do also, like in Anonymous's case. And then the other story with a current friend, we had a fight. I think it was probably our only fight in probably the 15 years we've been friends,
Mm-hmm.
probably even longer than that. But she wouldn't talk to me for such a long time. And I just kept like messaging her every once in a while, texting her every once in a while. And I'm like, hey, because we had talked on the phone, we talked it all over. And she's like, I just need time. I can't do this right now. Like, and she was really hurt and it was all over a guy,
Of course.
which I didn't even do anything. Okay.
Yeah.
She was just got the wrong idea and got jealous, but I didn't even do anything, for the record.
Yeah.
So she it took her time, and I just kept checking in and texting her and being like, hey, just checking in, seeing how you're doing, thinking about you, stuff like that. And after it was probably a good like 2 or 3 months, she came around and was like, all right, do you want to get dinner so we can, finish talking about everything and move on? And I'm like, yes.
Your waiting paid off, I guess.
Yeah. So like it depends on the person, like if Sally's done, she's gonna be done.
Yeah. And it's hard because you're not going to be able to know that until some time has passed, I guess. It's
Yeah.
been 9 months at this point. How long was it in your situations until, well, I guess with the Britney chick, it was literally years.
Yeah. And then she drunk texts me.
Yeah. So I don't know how legit that was, but
Exactly.
yeah. I guess the question is to Anonymous, how long are you willing to put effort in and get no return, or like wait and see if this is even ever going to be a friendship again?
Yeah.
Because right now she doesn't want it to be. So it's kind of up to you. Do you want to keep persisting and like Kristen did, just like every now and again, just shoot a message in hopes that eventually they'll come around? Is it worth it to you? How hurt are you from the situation too?
And also, in Anonymous's defense,
Mhm.
if Sally does answer and want to rekindle things, how is their friendship going to be moving forward? Is it going to be different now? Is
Yeah.
Sally not going to trust her? Is there going to be underlying issues? Is there going to be like, you know what I mean? Is she going to treat Anonymous differently? So
Yeah.
there's all those things to think about too, because when I rekindled things with my current friend, it was a little weird at first, and whenever we would go out to the bars, because I was single then, and guys would approach or whatever, you see her like look at me, and I'm just like
Yeah.
So like the trust, has to be rebuilt, and whatever else was lost.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know?
I haven't been in a situation like this one necessarily, but I did have a friend that like her and I had to cut her out of my life because she was getting involved in some pretty bad stuff. This was like our early 20s. I think I've mentioned this before. And I had like a conditional thing, just like I can't continue watching you go down this path. Like once you get off, like contact me and let me know. And she did eventually
Mhm.
like straighten up and came back to me and apologized and all that stuff. But it was like it was awkward at first, like, and it wasn't even that there's bad blood necessarily. It wasn't like we've got. I mean, I guess it was kind of a fight,
Yeah.
but it's not like I broke her trust or she broke mine. It wasn't like that at all. It was just kind of like, well, how do we continue on this friendship now that we've had this big gap in it and
Yep.
XYZ? And that was kind of, weird to navigate, but eventually it did, get normal again.
Yeah.
So,
And that could happen with Sally, and saying that they were friends, since grade school, but
yeah,
now it's been 9 months since they've spoke. So like things could be way different.
yeah, that's
Like
true too.
technically she could have quit because she got pregnant or something, and now she has a baby. Like,
Yeah. Well,
like,
she got canned. She didn't quit, but
oh, she got fired. Yeah,
yeah.
well,
But yeah,
yeah.
you're right. I mean,
I mean, anything can happen.
it's true. I suspect it might have something to do with what I said. When
Yeah.
when Anonymous talked to Sally and said, "Hey, like watch out for XYZ, like we can see like maybe you should XYZ."
Mm.
Probably Sally, I mean, Anonymous was trying to help Sally. Like, "Hey, stop these things so that don't get fired basically."
Yeah.
And then maybe Sally saw it more as like taking the other person's side kind of thing. So
Yep.
I think where you, Anonymous, were trying to be a friend, she didn't see it that way. And I think that's probably what's played into this hostility. I am kind of curious how the whole friendship was while they were working together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. These are the answers we don't get
Yeah.
in the letters.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I guess it just comes down to how long do you want to wait for this friendship to come back around, if it ever will. That's
Yeah.
up to you. I
And
personally
and
would.
go to her house. Go to her house or her apartment if you haven't already, and maybe
There
you
you
can
go.
get some more answers, whether it's she doesn't answer, or
Yeah,
maybe you can shout to her through the door if she's home, and then, if she doesn't answer, if she tells you to go F off, well, then you got your answer too. Or
yeah,
maybe she'll answer the door and talk to you.
that's true. You never know. If you want to go Kristen's route, if you want to go my route, I say forget about her. Clearly, you're not worth it enough for like her to try to save the friendship. So why should you have to have all the effort, put in? You already have put in a ton of effort to try to help or to try to save the friendship by messaging for 9 months.
True. It's true.
I think it's time to give up. There's this whole thing about like people are in your life for just the perfect amount of time, whether it's like
Mhm.
a 3 minute interaction or a 20-year interaction. When they're gone, like maybe they're gone for a reason. So maybe
Yeah.
there's this rift in your life in this new direction and the drop friendship because, one door closes and another opens kind of thing. And maybe there's something in your future that can only happen with this friendship not being something that you have to maintain. She sounds high maintenance anyway. From this I don't know.
Well, that was kind of my situation with Brittany. Like, she was very, like, nonchalant, or like didn't care too much about work, always coming in late,
Mm,
coming in with the Dunkin' Donuts late and leaving, to go get more Dunkin', taking
yeah.
extra long on the lunch. So she was really taking advantage. And even in our friendship, she was getting like really way drunk. Like every time we went out, she would go out during the week. I would not do that. She would
Mm,
come into work reeking of alcohol, so the friendship was kind of rocky. So
yeah.
like you mentioned, is the friendship worth saving?
Yeah.
And I did reach out, and I thought I did what I could, or what I felt was, necessary, and didn't get a response. So I'm like, okay, bye. Like, the friendship was pretty challenging to begin with. Like,
yeah, yeah, seriously. And that's like, oh, high maintenance friends. And not to like keep talking about my husband, but we have a phrase for people that we've been friends with a long time, or like friendship. We call them longevity friendships. And
yeah,
like those are the friendships that you're just still friends because it's been so long. If you
yeah,
met that person today, would you like be besties like right off the bat? Like, you know, like you were 20 years ago? Probably not. Like, how do you like that person today as yourself today? And if the answer is like, I probably wouldn't ask them to go hang out at a bar, like whatever, then there's your answer. It's probably not worth it. And like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, like you said, like, is it worth it? That's a pretty deep question, but a very valid one.
Yeah, I like
This
that.
is your opportunity to cut out that crappy friendship.
Yeah,
And I don't know. That's my thought. It sounds like a crappy friendship to me. I'm just saying because who does that to a friend for 20 years? Just cuts them out.
right. I like that. I like that as the answer. Think back
Right.
if the friendship is worth it.
Yeah. There you go. Final thought. And we're done. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this one. We might have to talk about work ethic in another episode. That sounds like a fun topic.
Oh yeah.
But for now, that's this. And yeah, we'll see you guys hopefully back here in 2 weeks with a new one. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. And yeah, hope to see you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.